Prison podcast, where we are live on the Recyard every Wednesday night. Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, and we are live on the Recyard Women's Prison podcast. I'm Marci Marie.
And I'm the Toonch.
Toonch, happy Wednesday and happy Sweetheart Day.
Look, I got my Bucky's Valentine shirt on. Look.
Oh my goodness. Yes,
it's might be to see the back. Let me see if I can turn around.
It's adorable. Wow. So you have an awful lot of Bucky's paraphernalia. I can't help but notice.
I mean, I am Texan, right? So Bucky is just a whole thing. I took a picture of him in Melissa's car the other day and I posted it for Happy Valentine's. He had the little Cupid wings on. Like every holiday, Bucky's does something different.
Bucky gets around on the holidays in Texas, right?
Spreading that beaver around, baby.
Toonchi, what I want to know is how long has Bucky's been a phenomenon?
Are you drunk?
I'm not drunk. I'm high on love. It's the day of love, and I have I'm a newlywed. This is our first Valentine's Day as a married couple, and so it's got me all twisted and turned around, right? But the question is, okay. I was in prison, and I had never heard of Bucky's. I've been in Texas, for 40 years at this point, and somebody's like, yeah, Bucky's this. And I was like, what's a Bucky's? And they acted like I was crazy. So I felt like it was something that happened while I was locked up.
That is incorrect, ma'am. The first Bucky's store opened in the early 80s in Lake Jackson.
Well, don't you know the history? Isn't that interesting that you know that?
Well, let me tell you something. I want people to know that knew me at Mountain View. I was the librarian for 8-9 years. Fun fact, my uncle was the head librarian at Baylor University. He was over the Texas collection. So his history and historian things kind of run in the family.
Okay, I understand. And for those of you that are watching or listening and don't know what Mountain View is, Mountain View is the luxury women's prison.
She said luxury.
Well, it is far more luxurious than prisons like where I did my time, like at Lane Murray, or where my wife paroled home from, the Hobby Unit.
That's
so
true.
Mountain View, when she says Mountain View, she's not talking about some little getaway. She's talking about an actual prison, which actually Mountain View is not Mountain View Unit anymore.
It's the Patrick O'Donnell Unit. Hey, everybody, I got an idea. Let's name a women's unit that has all this wonderful programming. Let's not name it after Miss Perryman, who was the only female on the board for years, who just suddenly died last year. Let's name it after a man.
Yes, naturally. That's the way we are in Texas, in case you've forgotten. Guys, I see y'all in the chat, and I just love to see everybody here. Judy, Shannon, Carrie, Laurie, Department of Corruption Stories, and more. We're so happy that you've joined us. Thank you for hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Make sure you're in the chat and all of those good things. Please share this live with others. And if you are somewhere listening to this podcast and not watching us live, we would really appreciate if you left us a review. And Barbara is already coming in talking about the theme for tonight. Tonight, we are talking about how love goes down in the penitentiary. How does Valentine's Day happen inside of women's prisons? And we are going to give our combined 30 plus years incarcerated in Texas women's prisons. And we're going to give the dirt tonight. So
I got some wild stories about Valentine's Day with my girlfriend at the Crane Unit.
At the Crane Unit. It went down at the Crane Unit.
It is Valentine's stories tonight.
Barbara says, made a lot of stamps and commissary for making homemade Valentine cards. And for sure, the ladies inside that used their artwork for their hustle to supplement their commissary or provide themselves with hygiene items, even. Holidays were a big money grab for them. Valentine's Day, Christmas, major holidays for sure. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, my first Valentine's Day as a married couple. And we have a almost 1-year-old and a kindergartner in the house. It is
That's
a
right.
very different Valentine's experience than we thought we might have this year.
He came with kids.
Yeah, yeah, but I did, let's see, my daughter got the kindergartner he's into Baby Yoda or Baby Yoda. He loves Yoda, um, and he's not a Star Wars fan. So it doesn't I don't think he realizes that Yoda is from Star Wars. He just maybe likes that character. So she got him a box of chocolates that was Yoda, so that's what he woke up to. But I had ordered him some pajamas in this cute little
Oh
Yoda
boy.
robe with a hoodie on it because tomorrow is pajama day at
Oh, it's school.
Curtis Elementary School,
Mm,
and,
okay.
yeah, so so he's gonna be rocking his new, Valentine present from me and, Auntie Brit, and we're gonna get that done for him. So anyways, yeah, it's a different kind of Valentine's than we expected, but still full of love and, worth celebrating, right?
It is,
Ye
absolutely.
ye
It's the day of love.
It is the day of love and commercial
And commercialism and capitalism, so
all of those things. So we're gonna get to that, we're gonna get to the meat of our show and to the juicy Valentine stories, but before we do that, Toonchi, let's do a weekly recap. Toonchi, first, I just want to, before you even say anything, because it's Valentine's Day and I love you, you are one of my dearest friends. Will you please give us an update about your shoulder?
I have been going to physical therapy. My physical therapist is also a Swiftie. So that has made it a little bit more enjoyable. But Marcy, it feels like my shoulder is welded together. So if you can imagine the feeling if somebody grabs you and tries to pull your arm behind your back, so you like say uncle or whatever they do when they pull your shoulder. That pain, that feeling like that's not supposed to bend like that is the pain that I have just trying to lift my arm to the side.
Oh
So
my
it
goodness.
is still very painful. But I'm doing the physical therapy and I got me a little massager that Lori said that I was going to do something else with it. You're sick. You're sick.
For those of you
It's
that
for
don't
my
know,
shoulder. It's for my
she's
back.
referring to Lori Mellinger, which is our friend and who clearly has her mind in the gutter on Valentine's Day.
But it is what it is. We'll get there one day. So
Well, good. I know that there's an end to this for you, but I just hate that you're going through it, and I know that the physical therapy has a purpose, but I also know it makes you hurt so much, more. So I'm appreciate that you come here and give your full self to, our community here, even though we know you're in a lot of pain. We love you and we're appreciative of that. So, with that said, what happened this week?
what
We
happened
had
this week? Well,
we
you
had a
go first. You go first.
well, the Speak Now event, you gotta tell about it.
Oh yeah. So well, two things happened. Um, Me and Mandy went to an event hosted at Rare Academy. It was through the RAP project, which is Reentry Advocacy Project. Barbara put on a wonderful program. People got up and shared. You know, the theme was your love story. It was just great. It was a nice little community event. And then Lioness had their Speak Now event Saturday. It was a great turnout despite the rain. It was raining cats and dogs, man. And people still showed up and we told our stories and we supported each other. We had snacks. There were cubs there. We had a sound healing thing with Jessica, and it was just really great. Marci, I'm sorry that you couldn't make it, but I know the rain was just really bad.
Yeah, it was about a 3.5 hour drive for me, and so we were planning because, I make that trip all the time, but I was bringing the kiddos, and I just couldn't imagine driving in the rain with, the kindergartner, he rocks in the car, but the little guy, he still requires some attention, and I just pictured awful things happening, the baby screaming, rain pouring down, me sliding out off on the side of the road. So I just early in the morning,
Right.
I said, I when I looked at the weather and saw that it was going to rain my entire journey there, I just couldn't do it. So I hated to miss it, but I'm excited because you guys look out. More Speak Now events from Lioness are on the way. I think the next one, rumor has it, will be in the DFW area. I'm super excited about that. Um, and then for myself, here we are again. Like, I think that other than just the normal work days, I don't have much of what I did. Just play with the kids. I just played with the kids and did my social media, made some videos.
Now,
made
but Marci, what did you do Sunday? Sunday was the Super Bowl.
Oh, honey, I went to bed. I
My
went to
God,
bed.
I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing
Baby, you better get back here. Guys, I am tired. I'm
You're
tired.
crazy, lady. You're crazy. You made some, I saw your videos. You made some footballs and some treats.
Well, I did that for my community online. We were gonna have a Super Bowl party, and this is a good point Judy's saying, because we're laughing and lighthearted right now, but there was a shooting at the Super Bowl parade, and so
I didn't know. When did that happen?
was the Super Bowl parade today? I saw it today on the TV, and actually, I've been so busy today, I saw it walking through the living room, and my grandmother was watching TV, and we saw that. So, yeah, it was really I don't know any details. So if you know details, put it I don't know. Um, I I'm so desensitized to shootings that I remember when I first got home from prison and there would be a big shooting and I'd be, like, looking at it and looking at news clips, and now in only 3 years, there have been so many that I don't even have that reaction anymore. It's
Judy said 22 people. I didn't look at the news at all today.
At 2:30 today. This afternoon, Carrie says, Angie. Oh, my auntie Angela's on here. Yeah, it's so sad, and the only thing I remember my grandmother just saying something in passing as I'm running through probably to get a bottle or something, and she says and I said, "Well, gosh, everybody's just gonna have to stop going anywhere." Like, is that what is going on with us? Is that where our society is going? Um, so yeah, it's anyways, Taylor's safe. Uh, so she was not at the parade today, and Taylor's boyfriend is safe also, but apparently other people were not. And
I'm so sorry to hear that. I hadn't heard anything about it. Gosh. And the weekend was such a nice celebration of just community and families gather around watching the game, and I just hate to hear that.
yeah, I think that no, I mean, what can you say? No, it's terrible and so sad. And you're right. When it messes things up when community comes together, and things like in this country, things like football, things like Super Bowl bring people together. They certainly bring people together, even in prisons. Um, Even for people that didn't watch prison, that was something that brought everybody together. And this parade was Kansas City's celebration, right? Yeah. you're wearing their hat. So that was their celebration in their community and the way for them to come together and celebrate. Um, and it was lost. It was lost. It was
Gosh,
terrible.
just so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Judy said everyone on the news that they were talking to was saying what a great celebration it was, that they were having so much fun, and that happened. I don't know. And then the big shooting in Houston at the Lakeside Church, which actually there's a branch in Fort Worth. So I thought when you first sent me that link, I thought it was in Fort Worth. Uh, yeah, I don't know how we recover from that and move on and talk about uh, what we promised the people we were going to talk
I
about.
know, like, I just, like, don't even it's so hard to talk about anything lighthearted, and it's just God,
Yeah.
we gotta do something different with ourselves as a society. My God.
In so many ways, right? In so many things. So Judy, it's not your fault, honey. She's
It's not.
apologizing for
No,
bringing
no,
it
it's
up,
not your fault.
but it's not your fault at all. And I mean, this is a safe space for you all to share your thoughts. So please don't ever think that. But I guess we will maybe I don't know. And do you know, maybe that's a topic for another time, but we weren't incarcerated with anybody. I was trying to think, like, maybe how could we honor that and have a space to open about that? But that's something maybe you and I need to talk about, is maybe having a show kind of maybe around that, or around, you know, gun violence and what we can do in our communities to fix it, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But tonight we're talking about Lover's Day in women's Texas prisons. And we're talking about love stories. I just think about, and I want to do that voice of who's the radio DJ that does the, do you know who I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about. Ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Delilah, love someone tonight. That's what you were talking about, wasn't
Of
it?
course I was talking about her. Of course. And she just has that really calm voice and says, "Welcome in, everybody. We're here to share our stories of love." and
That's
I,
it.
yeah, yeah. So it is. And guys, and let me say, love, real love happens in the penitentiary. It's now there's a lot of other stuff that happens. There's a lot of stuff that happens um, that helps people pass time. That's just for that time. That's maybe meaningful for the moment. But there is also long term love stories, and not just boom chicka wow wow love stories, and not just I'm going to marry that girl love stories, but friendship love stories. Toonch and I are both deeply in love with our friends that we met while we were incarcerated. We have multiple love stories from the bonds and friendships that we made when we were being so severely oppressed, but we're able to come together and build those friendships. And so we're going to touch on those love stories as well. But I'll tell you what, Valentine's Day was definitely a day in the penitentiary when you watched out to see who the second shift law was going to be.
That is very true, ma'am. Very true.
So you were gonna see basically if it was going to be a night of physical love or not. If it was just going to
Yeah.
be, we're gonna sit next to each other and watch TV, or is it going down,
Man,
right?
and the laws were on the lookout for packages, foods, Valentine cards, letters, notes. It again, me and Marcy have talked a lot about this, the absolute obsession with our relationships, our romantic relationships, was just it was just shocking. Like the problems that go on in the system, you think that they would have other things to worry about, but no. I'm going to catch them passing love letters, and let me tell you something. And I hope they're watching. And I may have told this story before, Marci,
Let's
but
hear it.
I'm older and I repeat myself. The officers in education created what they called the wall of shame. And they put butcher paper on they had a little cage inside of education where their office was. And they put butcher paper on there, and they were taping whatever little notes they found, candy, whatever it was. They were taping it to that. They would stand there while they were doing bathroom breaks and read it out loud and tape it up there and laugh at everybody, right? It made me so angry. It made me so fucking angry, Marci. The absolute embarrassment that people had, the shame, all the little love notes. So, I couldn't report it because I work there. So, what did I do?
You recruited somebody to do your dirty work.
I did. Now, they didn't put their name on it. It was an anonymous form. But we did drop a form to the psych lady and to Safe Prisons. Because I watched these girls get really embarrassed, and I'm thinking to myself, you don't know where that person is in their head. I know that girl cuts on herself. So was she going to go back in the dorm and feel embarrassed and cut on herself? Baby, we fucking roasted their asses. And guess what? The warden came in and said, what is this? And they were laughing about it. She goes, take that down immediately. I did. I ran them in. I sure did. My own bosses who were good to me, but they weren't good to other people, I ran their asses in. Sure did. And if y'all are watching, I loved you individually because you were good to people by yourself individually, but when y'all got together, y'all were nasty.
Oh, and wasn't that the case with so many staff members in there? When you got them separate,
they were great.
Had a conversation, it was like talking to a person. But sometimes when they were in a group, it was that group mean girl mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those I keep it's in my notes to make a video because I promise you guys are going to see me soon dressed in my little correctional officer outfit reading kites and showing people's reaction because that was common. So if you had a note, and you can imagine, guys, I met my wife, my legal wife, who we've been together now for years. I met her in the penitentiary. And so you can imagine some of the notes, the letters that we wrote back and forth to each other. Think about things that you might tell your spouse or your loved one, right? These are the kind of things that we're sharing with each other, not just burn chicka wow wow, not just that kind of stuff, but stuff about what happened with our families, or if I had a visit and it hit me emotionally or mentally. Very personal, very intimate things shared in those kind of letters, just to be humiliated in and read publicly. I mean, yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah. Now, on the bright side, though, staff, of course, made Valentine's Day miserable, but the ways that we enjoyed it. Can we talk about those god awful Jolly Rancher roses? Can we please talk about those? Because some people would do them and they look like sculpted crystal. Other people did it and it's like, girl, what is this?
So for what folks are, because I know you guys are trying to figure out what a Jolly Rancher rose is, and it's not something that you might see like in the gift baskets out here where maybe they had some heart stuff and then they had like Jolly Ranchers stuck to a stick to add color to it or something. We're not talking about that. We are talking about we're talking about melting down Jolly Ranchers, melting down hard candies and then sculpting
Yeah,
roses or whatever. They sculpt all kinds of things out of Jolly Ranchers, right? But
they do.
yeah.
I've seen that sculpted for Valentine's Day too. And when I'm saying something, I mean a dildo. I mean something in the shape of a penis. Let's be honest. We're all grown. We're all adults. That also got sculpted for Valentine's Day. Now, is that a good idea to use because it's candy? No, ma'am, it's not. Okay? It's not.
We do not recommend it, nor, and I'll just speak for myself because I don't know about Toonch over there. I wasn't on Mountain View unit, but I can't say that I've ever personally experienced that. But yes, that was a thing. And that's another thing that when someone got caught with that, just something to self gratify themselves, that was a whole nother level of humiliation. That
It
wasn't
was.
the
It was.
officer finding contraband and writing a case and that being the end of it. That was the officer waving it in the air, calling the person out, "Ooh, what you been doing with this?" And if that officer happened to maybe know who that person's girlfriend might be, then that girlfriend is going to be called out. "Ooh, so you've been on the other end of this?" I mean, just a huge spectacle. And it was something that the officers would share amongst themselves. So bless that person's heart if they went to work the next day or school the next day. That kind of thing
God.
was being brought up. Like those are the kind of things, there wasn't that was just it. There was you had no personal. Imagine, ladies, if someone went in your private drawer and pulled out your whatever and took it to your workplace and waved it around. "Ooh, look what I found in Marci's drawer." This is what we're talking about. But yeah.
I know. Marcy. Now, I don't think it was for Valentine's Day, but it was a sell. So, Diane, if you're watching, you're going to remember this story. She worked in the property room. Okay, so she was always helping the property lady like box up stuff, and the property rooms were always a disaster. So she kept it very organized. People got her property, mailed it. Anyway, I'm up there because I was working risk management at the time in peer education, so I was in that little building a lot. She was like, "Toonchi, come here. I want to show you this," and it was a dildo made out of the saran wrap and like a sock or what, I don't know. But anyway, she goes, "Look." I said, "Oh Lord." She goes, "No, but look." The girl had made a cozy for it, like a little sock cozy that she had made a little stitch, and she made it, and it had a little hat that it had a holder. It
It
had a
was
little,
it needed a holder.
yeah.
It needed a
It had
holder.
a cozy. And it
Well,
was like she stitched on it and everything. Like it was very elaborate, the little holder that she made out of a sock for it. It was truly impressive.
well, that was creative. That was creative.
Did
And
wait,
what?
I was going to go back to that rose. Did Brittany make you a Jolly Rancher rose?
I never got made a Jolly
Never?
Rancher rose the whole time that I was locked up. I don't know why, but I was made a heart-shaped candy patty from Lucky, aka Erica Spade, the candy patty queen king. Yeah, and it was a friendship one. It was a, "Hey, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you, friend, for all you do." And he heated up that candy patty really well, and while it was still hot, he worked it into the shape of a heart, and it was pretty fabulous. But no, I saw a lot of bad Jolly
Oh, man.
Rancher roses.
And they were sticky,
And
and their hands had been molding it. So it's just like it was for show. It really wasn't
yeah.
to. Now, I did get like when we would have Valentine Day packs. Remember those in commissary that was cheap items priced 3 times what they should be.
Mhm.
And if I didn't get that Valentine's Day pack for my girlfriend, It was World War III. Now, that being said, there was a moment that for many years I didn't get her in.
Toonchi, I
I
don't
didn't
want
get her in.
I've already
No.
heard this. You telling the girl we're not having Christmas. You're telling the girl we're not, hey, I know it's your birthday, but I don't cook. Or you telling the girl, yeah, I'll make you spicy something and let me put a I don't even remember what you put in it. No, you're out of you were a bad prison girlfriend.
Let me tell you why. Okay? Please. I don't want everybody to judge me. It was because the first incarceration, I was a good one. And I shelled out and I made stuff and I got stuff to her and I did all that boom, boom, bang, bang. It stressed me out all the time, but I did it. Now, I didn't do it. I'd pay somebody to do it, right? But boom, 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 bang, all that. She used me for my money. She treated me badly. It was just terrible, right? So then the second time I get locked up, two things are going on. I can't believe I'm back in prison. Remember, I told y'all that I didn't buy a hot pot or a radio for almost 7 months, 8 months, because I refused to accept I was in prison. So anything that had to do with prison culture, I would get really defensive and angry about. So decorating for the holidays and doing all this stuff, like, it reminded me that I was back in prison. Like, I don't know, it just triggered me. So it wasn't like I was doing it to her to be like mean to her. It was me. It was because of the way it made me feel. But I did reach a point when we had this big blowout and she's like, "You're mean. You're an asshole. And I don't feel loved or appreciated or valued. So I messed around behind your back." Well, that was kind of a wake up call, right? Like, oh, well, I was. So I tried to do better. And so my better was I would have someone cook or I would have someone, send her over the Valentine Day package. But then, too, when I had other girlfriends that were very loving and thoughtful, I did do more. That's why.
Toonchi, let me just tell you about the Lion King, about my wife, White Boy B, if you were locked up with her. she she was the sweetest, most she went through great lengths and we didn't live together and oftentimes she was in medium custody and wasn't even going to store, but she always hustled to make things happen for Valentine's Day, my birthday. And I told her early on, like, I don't care so much about holidays. I care about how we treat each other on the daily basis. And I still believe that to be true. Ladies, if you did not get flowers and chocolates today or even a card, but your husband is going to work every day and not cheating on you and loving you and treating you with kindness and love and respect, hey, that's a freaking win. Because I was married to a guy that was not very nice, but did holidays in a big, major showcase kind of way. And I like it much better the other way around. So, anyways, but Brittany, man, she came through. But hey, you brought something up, and I know I'm all over the place, but you talked about the Valentine's Day decorations, and that was something that was really something. When I first got to prison, those I came right before Valentine's Day. Those Valentine's Day decorations were really phenomenal. Like hearts, cupids, uh, big posters made out of papers taped together, cutouts. It looked honestly better than I would say better than you could buy in a store. I saw decorations in prison, and I've thought about that while we're planning this first birthday party. That man, my girls inside could make way better decorations than all of this crap that I'm
That's
looking
true.
at.
Yes.
So Denise Cherry is with us. Denise, we're so happy you're here. Denise did quite a bit of time, and I was locked up with her on Lane Murray. She is a member of Lioness, and she doesn't catch our show very often because she normally works Wednesday nights. So
But
we're
you
really
got us
happy to have
live.
you.
We're live and in action.
Yeah, yeah,
Denise, we're talking dildos and Valentine.
we we are talking about love in the penitentiary, Valentine's Day style, right? So, well, I will say, and I did a video, and I should have probably put it on here for you guys, but I will say that a lot of trafficking and trading goes down on Valentine's Day, right?
Yep, yep.
Angel Carol's also with us, and so, Angel, we're happy to see you. Uh, and Crystal's saying, "What about the Valentine boxes?"
I don't give us more information. The
Yeah.
packs that I remember were in those plastic bags. Now, I will tell you that the when my girlfriend came by the window to get that last Valentine package, okay, that last Valentine's we spent together, she grabbed it and put it in her shirt, okay, and she was trying to hustle back to the dorm, and it was pieces of it were coming out of the bag and sliding down her leg. So she was mad she had to leave them hot tamales on the sidewalk.
Oh, she lost not the hot tamales.
Yeah, they were gone.
Not the hot tamales. I wanna just pop in really quick and let you guys know that Angel Carroll is running for, say it, House Representative for District 52.
You got it, man.
Woohoo! So you guys, big shout out to Angel Carroll, big, huge supporter of Texas prison reform. We love Angel. She's also a member of Linus, a steering committee member, and our good friend. So that's let me plug that right now while I
Right.
can. So, um, custom made holiday decorations. People could make custom requests for each holiday, and we could help incarcerated folks make some money. Anthony coming in hot with the good ideas. There's actually, it's not for decorations, but it's just for other handmade things in prison. There's a ministry in Texas that the guys will send them their stuff and they will go around to different events and sell those things. And the guys get 100%. It's all guys. That's why I'm saying guys, it's all men's prisons, get 100% of the proceeds. So I'm down with you, Anthony. We could make something happen for sure. So Crystal's saying, what are they? What are, oh, maybe we're not being clear what a Valentine's Day commissary bundle or commissary package was. Well, first of all, you need to know that prisons are all about making money, and any way that they can exploit incarcerated folks or take advantage of their situation by buying several different Valentine themed, or not even Valentine themed necessarily, but different items than they normally can get on commissary. So, what you might find in a Valentine pack sold the couple weeks before Valentine's Day, what you might find is a package of yogurt covered pretzels.
Oh, I hate
Wow.
those. Those are nasty.
Yeah, but if you've been in prison for 8 years and you have never seen those or never, I mean, that's serious, and haven't seen them in 8 years and you love them, you might find chocolate-covered peanuts. You might find sour balls. Those sour, remember, they would sometimes have sour balls. So it would be, and then might be just like Twizzlers, or, but it would be a package of stuff you would find at Dollar General candy,
Mhm.
and it would be marked up that you could buy it out here in the free world for probably $8, and it would be marked up to 25 or $30 in there, and it didn't come out of your spend. So then that was an even more incentive for people to want to have them. So yeah, that's what the Valentine's Day pack is. Sorry, Crystal, we weren't understanding your question. So, yeah, and they did that for a lot of holidays, right? And I imagine Mountain View did it more because it was up to the commissary ladies what they offered on their unit, and our unit was so large that a lot of those things, in fact, I went through several years when we had one commissary boss that we didn't have any packs. We didn't do those Easter packs and all that. We did holiday packs only for Christmas. But then when we got changed over, it just depends on who's running things, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
and
you're
so
right, those cheap ass candies. And they'd be $20, those packs. And I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't want to do it. Marcy, I wouldn't, but I would do it. And I'm like, this stuff isn't even worth $6. But I
but
did it.
you were doing it in the name of love.
I guess. It really was just because I just didn't want to hear her go off on me.
Right, right. In the name of peace.
That is correct. In the name of peace. Get your $20 Valentine pack. Well, I had to learn that people have different love languages, right? And some people's is gift giving, some people's is words of encouragement or acts of service. And I had a girlfriend that it was gift giving, and I'm not a big gift giver. I never have been. It's just stuff. I try because a lot of people are, so I've tried to do better.
You're a great gift giver. I think I'm a poor gift giver. And also it just comes to the point where I'm so freaking tired of commercialism and capitalism and big business. Like, uh, but I think you're a great gift giver. You remember people's birthdays. You always do a little something. And you know what? Let me tell you, you look out for your friends when there's any kind of thing going on, any kind of craziness going on in their life, be it illness or kids something, or you're always there. What can I do for you? Can I send you this? Can this happen? I just think you're good at that. So don't say that. I just think you were mean to your girlfriends in prison.
That may be true. Let's talk about Denise Cherry. Talk about them chocolate Keebler
Yes.
graham cookies.
Those chocolate covered
God,
graham cookies
I'm
were
gonna show y'all
something.
something. Be right back. I'm gonna show you.
Hey,
Hold on.
if you have some, I bet she's going to her little cabinet where she keeps all her food, which also happens to be pretty similar to prison food. Oh, you have those cookies. Hey, we have some of those
Honey,
cookies.
I got these yesterday.
Nice.
Yesterday, y'all.
Nice.
Do you know
Uh,
how many were in here?
you ate that whole box?
Since yesterday. Now, Marcy, let me tell everybody real quickly what happened. Okay. Now, it's slightly Valentine, slightly not. I had a hard day the other day. An incident happened. I saw it and it freaked me out. Anyway, that's for another show about mental health and the police. So the next day, yesterday, I went to HEB to get my little groceries. I buy the same 15 items every single week. Okay. And so I get to the self checkout. There's two empty. I hope Lori's watching it. There's two empty self checkouts. It was 7:00 in the morning. I go to the grocery store early. I don't like crowds, none of it. The HEB lady comes in on my bad shoulder at that. She said, no, this is more than 10 items. No, ma'am, you can go right back out. Marcy, I went from 0 to 10. 0 to 10. Push the cart with my little bags in there, my little Ross bag that I had to, because HEB, you got to bring your own bags. Push it and said, you can put this shit up yourself. I'm leaving. And I deleted my HEB app.
Oh, not the app.
I transferred my pharmacy to CVS. I was so angry. I was hysterical when I called Lori. So I went to Walmart to get my groceries. Now I'll probably go to Target. I want to tell you that lady triggered me because not that she wanted me to go somewhere else in another lane or whatever. She talked to me like a prison guard, and it was instantaneous, the anger that I felt. Now, the payoff here, though, going to Walmart is I bought this tray of 24 sugar cookies. See all that beautiful pink sugar? I've got about 5 left.
Wow.
And I bought them yesterday.
And you probably haven't eaten anything else except for those cookies.
That's true.
Dude.
God.
Well,
Mm.
I'm glad you scored some sugar cookies out of the deal.
Mm.
I really am. I'm sorry about your experience at HEB. If anyone from HEB management is watching and wants to compensate Miss Toon for her mental anguish, just hit us up on any of our social media platforms.
It was instantaneous, and it was like, Marcy, I just did it. Like I didn't even, which kind of scared me, right? Because it was like, Jennifer, you can't just react like that. You gotta. I think it was the day before, everything that had happened the day before just really set me off. You know.
Toonch, let's talk about what a prize gift it is when you are given some sort of free world food
Mm.
or dessert, or like, for instance, if they had had those sugar cookies
God.
out in ODR for the officers and somebody you're just going to eat that and chew
Mm.
right with your mic and everything?
Can you
Okay.
hear it? Can you
Yes,
hear it?
yes, we can hear it, Toonch. You have a microphone. It's hanging right that close to your mouth.
What? And look, no, the microphone's here. I can't believe y'all hear that. I
Yeah,
don't
we hear
believe
it.
you. Y'all tell me in the chat if y'all can hear me eating this
We
cookie,
heard
and I'll
it,
stop.
Toonch. You're calling me a liar right in front of
I'm not calling
everyone.
you a liar, honey. I'm not. I
Oh,
think you are confused. But go ahead.
we can hear it. Everyone listen. Everyone listen. But what I want to talk about is if you're good homies with Officer so and so and they bring in a couple of sugar cookies, and
Mm,
Randolph does confirm that he can hear you chewing. Thank you, Mr. Adams.
I'm
We
so sorry.
appreciate you
I'm
so
so
much and
sorry.
appreciate your honesty.
So sorry.
And you were able to coerce them out of one of the sugar cookies, and then now you have this golden sugar cookie in your hand that's worth, now you have $10 of commissary in your hand. You could sell that sugar cookie, especially on Valentine's Day. Especially. Are you serious? Especially on Valentine's Day. If Yeah, that's a prize. That's a score.
But would you have sold it? I would have ate it.
You would have eaten
Would you have?
it? You would have
Yes.
not given it to your girlfriend?
Absolutely not. We all, everybody that knows me knows the answer to that. Where's
See,
Mandy? She sent me that TikTok with the one where the lady was doing stuff and she's like, "What? Oh, I don't want to share it."
you were one of those that got in your box and was real quiet opening things so your bunkie didn't hear you eating, so
I
you wouldn't
was.
have to share.
Absolutely. I
Oh
was.
my gosh.
I
And the
was.
people the
Thank
people are
God
on
for
your
Angel.
side.
Thank God for
Yeah,
Angel.
they're on your side anyway, and some of them are fibbing and saying they can't hear it. Turn your volume up, people, 'cause I heard it. Anyways, and then others are saying, "I hear it, eat it anyway." Yes, girl, eat. Eat. We don't care. Oh, no, I can't hear it. Yeah, y'all are out of line, Janet. You guys. And Carrie says, "Babe, we hear you. We can hear you. I'm sorry." She apologized for telling the truth. You have the people in a way that they feel like they have to apologize for telling the
Girl,
truth.
don't gaslight these people like this.
And Denise said she had so much free world stuff, it would be so
Mhm.
good. I wanna tell y'all, and this is not a Valentine story, but it is a free world food story. There was a big event, and I'm just gonna say it. Kairos.
Oh
Kairos
yeah.
has a big
Mhm.
event inside of Texas prisons. They bring in food for the graduation. It's a major fest. So what would happen is there would be a lot of food left over. So the people that worked in the chapel would this was a whole hustle. They would designate a clean space in the trash can, the chapel
Yep.
trash can, and the trash cans would go out, and the inside yard people who would come get the trash cans, they would know, like, hey, it's time for us to get this stuff. And they would be able to get the good stuff out of the trash. And then as they're moving around the unit, picking up other dorm trashes, would be able to disperse some of the, and so it would be fruit, veggie trays, pizza,
Mhm.
cookies, brownies. It was a major deal. It was a
That
huge
was
operation
that
inside
was
operation.
Belinda. That was my Belinda that she just got home after 35 years, 30 years. And she was a man. Belinda would surprise me with, I think it was for Valentine's one time that she was like, Woody, because that's what she called me from Toy Story, Woody. That was
That
my
fits
first
you.
nickname. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, she called me Woody. Um, and I remember she made me blackberry cobbler with some free world stuff and some blackberries they got out in the garden. And she was like, a happy Valentine. Like she would do little sweet, tiny things like that, you know? She's a great cook. But yeah, she was a master at it. My God. And she would do it right. Like she was so good that you would never see it. Like you're staring right at her and it's just happening and you have no idea. She was so great. Hey, there's
She's
Maria.
Yeah, Marie is here. Happy to see you, Marie. And Jerry just wants for full clarification. She worked in the chapel and she never participated
Jerry.
in such shenanigans.
Jerry. Now I know you, Miss Jerry.
You
Now,
think
are you
she's
sure?
fibbing?
No, she's telling the truth. Jerry would never take anything out of the chapel. Now she, like in other places, she knows how to hustle and watch out. But in the church, no,
It wasn't going
it
down.
wasn't going down in the church.
Which, any kind of Valentine parties? Did you guys ever have Valentine parties? No.
Not really. I think Valentine's was just for the couples right now. Hey, you gonna get out to Rec? Man, Rec is packed. It's packed.
Yeah.
Everybody's sitting in their couples space, and they do. Guess what? They're patting down everybody, and they're probably going to strip all of us out after the end of the evening. Now, I want to tell a funny story about Wendy Davidson.
You're putting her
Okay.
name out there?
Oh yeah, Wendy doesn't care.
Okay, Wendy, go for it.
Now, Wendy's one of those one of our notorious sisters, but she's actually a very sweet person. And we were never like girlfriends or anything. We were just friends. She's so sweet and so intelligent and kind of dingy. But she brought me out some burritos, Marcy. And I think it was around my birthday because it was cold outside. And Diane will have to tell you a funny story about Wendy too. But she's like, I brought you burritos. And I said, honey, listen to me. I don't take stuff in. I can't hide it. I'm a beanpole. You're going to feel that. I can't do it. And she was like, okay, well, let me think about it. We can find somebody in your dorm that's not scary or whatever. So she put it in the sleeve of her jacket and laid it down on the basketball court because she had all her clothes. She was like, I'm not really all that cold. I'm just going to. So what happened? The officer was picking up people's coats that were laying there. She picked it up and the fucking burritos came out. So she took the jacket. And so when we go in, there's Diane right now. When we go in, the officer says, well, is anybody going in without a jacket? And now it's cold. It's cold now because it's later in the evening. And she's just like,
wait, y'all's jackets didn't have your name on them?
No.
Oh, our jackets had little patches that had our last name on them.
Girl, no. Our
your laundry number. It had your last name and your laundry number on there.
So some of the jackets would have them old patches on them, but no, we didn't. No, because they would take them up, during the summertime. It was this whole big, that we could do a whole episode about the coats. But yeah, so she stood there and she was like, well, is anybody cold? They're going to be cold the rest of the week because guess what? You were going to get in trouble if you went to laundry and said you didn't have a coat. Like you are screwed. You're going to have to find somebody to steal you one. And Wendy's just standing there like, I am so fucked. And I was like, well, honey, she was a real champ about it. She was like, why did this lady think that I'm just going to walk up in front of everybody and say, that was my jacket with the burritos in it?
I love when they do that. I love when they try to get you to just tell on yourself, and Warden Sellers, you might remember her.
Can't.
Warden Sellers, she would, "Don't leave. Don't leave. We're gonna talk."
Mm-mm.
She comes through the dorm one day, and you are technically not allowed to leave your stuff on the shower. If you are, I'm just gonna give the example. It's your turn to shower, and you get your shower and you put your stuff in the shower and you're on your cycle and you need to go to the ladies' room before you get in the shower and you go to the potty, all of your stuff can be confiscated. It's not it's not allowed to be there. So you could either stand there waiting for your shower without any protection from your cycle and so you can get it, like, it's just the logic behind these rules. It makes no sense. Anyways, that was the case. She comes in, the girl's on the toilet, and it was an F dorm, so the toilets are right there by the
Mm-hmm.
showers. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're right there. And she's like, "Whose is this? Whose is this?" And she's just yelling, "Is it whose is this?" Da, da, da. And that girl just stayed right there on that potty and didn't say a word. Like she never she
Take it. Just take it.
just have it. Just take it. Take
What a
my $5.
mean,
Yeah.
hateful woman that was. And I will say it. I will say it on this live. I will say it in front of legislators. I'll say it to anybody that asks me. What a mean, hateful, nasty woman she is, probably forever is. Now, I'm not going to say that people can't change or be redeemed. I'm not saying that. But I have a strong feeling she is the same as she always was when I knew her when I was 18. Hateful woman.
A hateful woman who wore thong panties and bent over in visitation and showed us what color her panties were frequently, so
Yep.
frequently that when my kid's dad would come, we made a game out of it. Who's the warden on duty? Oh, it's Sellers. What color you think she's got on today?
And that's how she was. And she was just so mean to people, so hateful. If if
She
I if I could think of one person through my whole incarceration that was just unadulterated hatefulness, it was that woman.
she was something else, and I have a friend, Laquita Davis, who did such a wonderful impersonation of her.
God.
I just love I just love how, and that just is one way it shows us how, yes, we were not in a we were in a very harmful environment. We were in a very dark environment, but still we were able to come together and make light of the situation for our own mental health, our own survival, right? So, and that was one of the ways is she Laquita would act like she was getting a phone call. She'd say, "This Sellers," and it was just, anyways, yeah, she was something else, and she was a couple hater.
Oh,
She
big time, baby.
hated
Woo!
the
She
there
hated couples.
the agency as a whole was against any kind of relationships, any kind of couples. If they even thought that you might be a couple, if you, bless your heart, Toonch, with your little short haircut, you
Oh
were
yeah.
getting in trouble all the time. Whether it
Yep.
was you or not, you were getting pulled over. My wife, while we were incarcerated, she got strip searched all of the time. If they saw that the both of us happened to be in the chow hall, not sitting next to each other, but just happened to both of our dorms been called at the same time. If certain officers noticed that, she was getting strip searched. They
Mm-hmm.
were doing it. They were doing it, and they rarely found anything on her. And if they did, it was a cookie roll I had made or some
God.
spam and rice that I had made to cook for her. Like it was just
That dangerous lesbian love. It's
right.
dangerous. It's vicious. It's whew.
Right. Such an issue for sure. And but couples survived in there, and there were, we know, couples that made it all the way to the free world, in spite of all of the craziness that happens in there. Brittany and I, my wife, had our own drama in there, because it's a drama filled place, but it is survival, but friendship certainly. I mean, look at Denise right here. Look, Toonch and I didn't do time together, but here's Diane in the comments who Toonch knew in prison. Those relationships and that love that we have for one another that helped us to survive that place, that was real, and it's still real, right?
Right. That's the love that I celebrate today. Not, I don't, I'm just a single lady with a cat. But the true love of my life is, the women inside those prisons and cages, and the women that are in Linus, my friends, my coworkers. Y'all all, every single one of you really are the love of my life.
Well, we love you too, Toonch, and I feel the same way. My wife's here sending you love too. Uh, so it was like, it went down. It went down on Valentine's Day for
It did.
sure. But definitely love was celebrated even behind those prison walls. Any final thoughts, Toonch?
Uh, no, this was a lovely Valentine's. I got to speak at a class today about just this, about our bonds. I think one of the questions was, one of the girls in the class asked, "Can you describe what those relationships were like with each other? Like, how were y'all there for each other? What did that look like?" And I got to talk about all the stuff that we talk about here, right? Like, and it wasn't perfect. We had our days where we couldn't stand each other. Sometimes even now we all bump heads or hurt each other's feelings, coming from our trauma and stuff. But at the end of the day, there is just a love and a bond that nothing can divide, nothing. And it really, I tell y'all all the time, you save my life every day. Every single one of my friends, your family, and you save my life every day.
Toonchi, thank you for that. And with that, let's just say that thank you guys, all our community here. What a beautiful way to spend Valentine's Day with our On the Rec Yard community. I love it so much. If you're with us live, please do like the live, share it, leave a comment, all of the good things. We appreciate that so much. If you are listening somewhere, we ask that you please leave us a review. Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you're listening to us, we appreciate that so much. Susie Bannon, we certainly love you too. Queen Bannon right there in the house. We're so glad to see you. And until next time, same place, we will be here, right?
That's right. I'm going to get back to these cookies.
Yeah. For hanging out with us on the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast with